Hello. Hello, hello. Guys, I've been running around here like a chicken with my head cut off. I've got too much coffee in my system and too much adrenaline. What's happening? Hi, everybody. Hi. How's everybody doing? Hey, Ryan. Donna Clark. Hopes Echo. Lisa, good to see you guys. Mark. Hey, how you doing, bud? Hope everything's going well. Yeah, y'all hit the like for Leanie. Hit that like, you guys. Let's get on the algorithm. Let's go. Get on the algorithm. If you haven't subscribed, do that too. Do it too. So good to see all of y'all. Oh, I need to slow my breathing down. Y'all, listen, just an honest girl trying to grow an honest channel here. And I always get the most nervous whenever I'm going to do an interview. And just because I want to do it right, you know? And um, touch the topics that I think that are important and make whoever is become the latest victim feel comfortable as possible, right? Because it's nerve wracking. It's nerve wracking coming up here. Till about after about 2 minutes, like you're fine. You realize that it's just like talking on the phone to somebody, right? Welcome everybody. Cheap ass. For real. I am. I am. I am. Melly Joe, good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Rapper. Hey, if you guys missed my live from last night, you guys go check it out. Rapper was on panel. Got to know Rapper. That was interesting. Rapper, I hope you're having a good day. Hey, hey, new. Let's see. Yeah, we got this. We got this. Pink Peony, thank you so much. Listen, y'all leave your DNA. Leave your DNA here. Smash that like button and leave your DNA. That's what we're doing. I mean, if I need to solve a crime and they come to talk to me, I might be like, hey, check out my people. They've got DNA all over this place. Um, you're having an amazing day. That is great. I'm glad to hear it. All right, let's get this show on the road. I usually go at 8 people. That's what I pray for, and we're over double that right now, guys. Let's get this going. Let's get it going, right? Hey, Messy Jessie. Always enjoy your good vibes. Love you. Good to see everybody. Hope you are well. I am well. I hope you're well. Thanks for coming in. This is a really special night for me, you guys. It's really. I've been wanting to do this for a while. Y'all know my youngest, my baby child, is in college, and I always thought it would be fun to have um, some college students come on or young people come on that will talk about that kind of a life, what they do, how they live, how they see the world, what their life is like, what interests them, things like that. I never got to college, so I think it's going to be an interesting life. So let's get to it. I want to say hey before we get started, everybody up there in the naked bushes. I've been told, I haven't hung out up there yet, but I've been told that if the light's on, the red light, they'll be careful where you're sitting at. That's all I got to say. There's our warning about that. We have naked bushes here, and we've got mad mods. We got mad mods. Um, we have the greatest mods, the sweetest people. But if you come in here and start any trouble, they're gonna time you out, guys. No questions asked. No questions asked. They're just gonna time you out. If anybody's on our panel, I ask that you be very respectful of them. You have nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. Keep it to yourself. Nobody wants to know anybody anyway, right? Keep it to yourself. If not, those mad mods, they're gonna time your butt out. That's what's gonna happen. Um, I also want to forget to do this a lot, you guys, and those of you that are replay watchers, please forgive me. I forget sometimes to thank you for replaying my lives. You don't have to do that, and it means a lot because it counts. You can hang out with anybody when you're replaying people, and you choose to replay according to Leanie, and that's really important, and I thank you for it. Um, let me see. Respect the panel. We talked about that. The three dots. So the mods here. I'm just giving this because I know there are people watching kind of in the shadows that maybe not have been here that long or whatever. Um, you have power too, even if you do not have a wrench here. If you look next to the name of the person that uh, has offended you in any sort of way, or that you just don't like what you're seeing out of them, there, point towards the name. Three little dots will come up on the right hand side. Hit those three little dots, and you can block that person, and then you never have to see their chat again. So let's just be kind to one another, especially be kind to the panel guests because y'all, they're doing it for free because I'm a cheap ass. That's the way it's going around here. Listen, we're low budget. We're low budget. That's what's happening. Low budget here, right? We ain't making any money yet. Blondie's paying for all this, all that you see, and I ain't got much money, y'all. So we run a very low budget program here. All right. Welcome to those that have come in. And thank you. Gosh, thank you for coming in. Thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it so much. Um, Pink Peony. Emma's here, you guys. Chudy's here. Red lights on. See, Chudy's up there. Y'all, she's got those naked bushes handled up there. Y'all behave. Chudy will smack your ass. I'm not kidding you. Um, y'all behave. She's taking care of that for me up there. Do we have panel guests in chat? I need to kind of see your name in chat. What I'm looking for is anybody that's been invited to come and join panel uh, for our college night talk. If you are, just say hi in chat. And then I'm going to drop the link. The link, you guys, is only for those tonight that have been invited to come and talk with us. So I will not be accepting anybody else on panel tonight. We will do an open panel next week. I promise. I promise we'll do open panel maybe this weekend. All right. And we'll all get up here. All right. Sarah. Sarah's here, you guys. Wow. Thank you, Sarah. If anybody else comes in, just let me know and we will have you up. So, Sarah, I'm going to drop the link because we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to drop the link for you. Go ahead and take it. If you've never done a panel before, it's going to be so easy. I promise I'm going to make this so easy. Um, just follow whatever it prompts you to do, and you'll end up backstage. And if you do not want to show your picture or whatever, just make sure you hit the cam button so that it'll block your camera. All right. But I won't put you on stage until I feel like you're ready for that. All right. Here's the link for Sarah and anybody else that may have been hanging out that's been invited um, to join me on panel. Y'all, seriously, my blood pressure is up. It's up. Why? I've talked to Sarah before, you guys. I know Sarah. I know her. I know her. She's a good girl. I know her. I know Sarah. Let's go ahead and take that link and then just follow the prompts. Did it post? Follow the prompts and it will bring you backstage and then I'll bring you up. Thanks everybody for being here. Those who are in the bushes, I appreciate you guys hanging out. drop down and chat in the side chat. That'll be fun. If you guys have any questions for Sarah, go ahead and put them in to the chat, and I'll try to keep an eye on it. And we uh, will try to see if she wants to answer some of those. So if you think of yeah, I'll be fine once I get it started for real. Um, uh, yeah, if you guys have any questions for her, then just drop them into the side chat, and I will we'll get them read to her, and then maybe she'll choose to answer them. So we're just waiting on Miss Sarah Grace to get up here through the nose and out through the mouth. I'm not good with that. I'm really not. I'm not. I don't know why. I mean, if one of like people that I hang out with all the time here and they're like, "Hey, I'm going to come up on panel, let's talk, blah blah blah." I never get nervous. Like when Rapper was up here, I don't get nervous because you guys know me, I know you, I know um kind of like what we're going to do, what we're going to talk about. But you want to do people proud, right? I know it slows my heart rate, but geez, that's hard to do. Breathe through my nose. Then I'm gonna start hyperventilating because I feel like I'm breathing too fast. You guys, I posted a live for the Mad Mods for Friday at 1:30. Um, that is just to go over some stuff that we're wanting to do with the channel, wanting to do with the mods, things like that. I need to add mods, blah blah blah. Um, if you guys all want to come, that's fine, but that's basically what that's going to be talking about is just going over mod stuff, learning how to drop links and things like that with those that are new to the program. So make sure you guys try to hit that one. And then I have one scheduled for tomorrow. Um, I can't remember now, guys. Um, Let me check a message really quick. Hold on. Oh gosh, people make me ill, y'all. Some of the stuff that I see on this platform makes me want to holla, makes me want to get ugly, but I'm not gonna. Not out loud, anyways. Right? Not out loud, but some people just make me ill. Make me real ill. Look at here, guys. Sarah is on. Sarah's on. Hi, Kay. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Y'all make sure to hit the like button. I appreciate that so much. All right, Sarah Love. I see you right there. I'm going to add you to stage now, okay? Make sure you unmute your mic when you come up so that we can hear you. All right? There we go. You're up. You just need to unmute your mic.
Hello.
Hello, love
Hi.
bug.
Sorry, I didn't know I had to have Google Chrome downloaded.
Oh, no, it's fine. I should have told you that. I'm
Oh, you
sorry. I
did.
didn't think
Good.
about it. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well.
Good.
Thank you. I'm nervous. Why am I nervous? It's not
Um,
like we don't know each other.
I know. Well, we've met one time in person.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
but I've
actually have
heard all about you.
I actually have a few of my friends here too. Some of the girls are here. So, they're here to chat too.
Well, hi, friends. I'm so
Hi.
glad. Oh, wow. You brought all the friends.
We've got Natalie, who I think we've met, and then Lily and Mallory.
All of names I've heard a lot about. In
Yep.
fact, can I just tell you guys this? Because you know I'm an honest person, right?
Oh yeah.
For some reason, I was running through Facebook and I saw Miss Mallory's Facebook come on People You May Know. And I looked at her pictures and oh my gosh, Mallory, look at you, girl,
Thanks.
throwing that pom pom around.
Oh yeah, she's a Code Red dancer.
Wow. Wow. So can we introduce you? This is Sarah, you guys. She is a um I don't know that I would call it let okay, her family and my family have connections from probably gosh, 10, well, over about 13 years
Yeah, a long time.
connections. Um, and then somehow those connections crossed again when my baby child, now y'all don't go making fun of my baby child when y'all tell him that that's what I call him on here.
We won't.
My baby child um, went to college. Our families ended up crossing again through Sarah and through my baby child. And so it's kind of like a full circle thing that we've done. And Sarah um, and my youngin, um, they lived in, y'all were in the same dorm, right? Just not the
Yeah,
same
we
dorm
ended up
room
living in the same dorm freshman year.
freshman
Yep.
year. And this is your second year, right?
Yes.
Okay. And now, so you don't live in the dorms any longer.
No, Lily and I actually live in a house on campus now.
Do you love it?
Oh, we love it. It's so fun.
Do you miss dorm life?
Yeah, we do. It was just nice having everybody in the same, like, building. It was a lot of fun because now Rhett lives far away, not far away, but and, our other friends that live in the fraternity house, and so it just was fun having everybody in the same building.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember seeing pictures, and I was blessed enough that I wiggled my way in very carefully to some of y'all's friend circles and Rhett's friend circle to his dismay. And y'all would send me pictures
Oh, yeah. Yep.
of like sleepovers and parties that you guys were having. And I was so thankful.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was fun. I miss it, but we still have fun now that we don't live in the dorm.
Do you feel more grown up now that you don't live in the dorm?
Very much. You have to cook for yourself, and now we've got housework to take care of. It's a lot different, but I like it. I prefer it.
Really?
I
Did you
do,
ever
yeah.
think when did you ever think when you were living in the dorm, I can't wait to get the heck out of here?
Yeah, mostly because of the food. Like, I don't know, I was
Okay,
ready to make my own food, like, the dorm food wasn't it was good, but it's nice to just be able to make whatever you want.
I understand that. Wow, I can't believe you like to cook. I hate to cook. Absolutely hate it.
I don't love it, but I'd rather eat my own food than the dorm food, but
Do you guys
it's fun.
take turns cooking?
Usually we just kinda do our own thing. Sometimes in the summer, we'll, like, alternate who makes dinner, or if we try something new, we'll try each other's, but usually we just kinda do our own thing because we both work and, have different class schedules and whatnot.
So, anything I ask you, if it's too personal, if it's something you don't want to answer, you're not going to offend me any sort of way at all. If you don't want to answer it, just say, we can talk about that." Um, so, wh- what are you? What is your major right now?
My major is public relations and marketing.
Wow. Can we talk a little bit about what you did over this past summer? Now, I know, but they may not know who you really are.
What do you mean?
If you don't want that out there,
It's
if you
okay,
don't want that out there,
are you talking
um,
about the fair stuff?
uh-huh.
Yeah, so I, am Miss Marion County. Yeah,
Yay!
so, I won a scholarship pageant last summer. I've been doing that pageant for a few years now, and I always, placed 1st or 2nd or 3rd or whatever, and this year I won it. So all year I've gotten to do a lot of fun things through that, and I'll hand down the crown in June this year, so
Oh, are you sad about that?
I'm sad, but I'm excited for somebody else to get to experience it because it's a lot of fun, but I'm
What is the
I'm a little
next
sad.
what is the next step in the journey with the pageants? Is there a step?
No, so in January, every county competed at state, And I actually placed top 10 there, so that was really exciting. I wasn't expecting that. Um,
Oh.
but yeah, after that, that was pretty much it, and then I'll hand down the crown and I'll be done.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you
Thank
for
you.
that. So, I heard you mention you're in a sorority.
I am, yes.
Can you tell us without telling I don't want anybody to know what your sorority is.
Okay.
If you and I are blabbermouths, I feel like we can both just accidentally say something we shouldn't,
Yeah,
and
I'm
if we do, nobody's gonna know. We're the
okay.
best kept secret on the nobody knows what
There's a
goes
lot of
on here.
sorority names, so and
Okay. So what would make a person did you always know when you went to college that you wanted to join a sorority?
I didn't. So, actually going into college, I honestly didn't think I was gonna do it, because it just didn't seem like my type of thing. I never really pictured myself being like a stereotypical sorority girl or whatever. Um, but my sister-in-law went to Ball State and she was in a different sorority, and she was like, "Just do it, you might make some new friends." Sorry, our we have a dog here right now, he's itching, you can hear his collar.
It's
Um,
okay.
and she convinced me to do it, and she was like, "Just try it, if you don't like it, you can always, quit or drop out of the process, like the rush process." And I ended up really enjoying it, and I, went to a sorority and, got initiated and all that stuff, and so I've been there since freshman year, and I love it, and now I'm on exec, and, uh, I've learned a lot of skills through doing it. It's not just fun, like,
Wait a
I've
minute.
learned business skills
Wait a
and
minute. What is exec?
like our executive board, sorry, I should have made that clear.
It's okay.
Like, so I'm VP of philanthropy for our sorority.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, so I
And you guys are in a big fundraiser right now, right?
we are, yeah, so we're having our philanthropy event this weekend that I planned, and all the money goes towards Feeding America and Meals on Wheels. So
Wow.
I think we've raised over 3,000 so far.
Oh my god, that gives me chill bumps. I
Yeah.
love that. I love to see young people using their minds and their talents to do something for the greater good.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I'm not
I
just
love
saying
it.
that.
I
I'm not
love
just
it.
saying that. That
It teaches you a lot of skills, like, it's not just fun and whatnot being in a sorority, like, we do a lot of community service and, uh, philanthropy. It's awesome, I love it.
so is sorority life you said the quintessential sorority girl.
Yes.
Who's she?
I don't know, I feel like in the movies and stuff, you just see, like, I don't know, just party girl, like, and that's really not how it is at Ball State. We don't have houses, we don't have sorority houses, so, it's you don't live together, so I feel like it's a different vibe. It's not really, like, catty here. I feel like that's how you see it, in the movies and stuff, but it's really not like that. That's what I always thought of when I thought of sorority girl, was, like, drama and stuff like that, and I don't think it's like that at all.
Um, would you say that that's just in your sorority or in the majority of them now?
Um, Honestly, I don't really know. My sorority is very, we have a lot of awesome girls, so that's part of the reason why I chose to be in there, because I didn't see those people in my sorority, but it might be different in other ones. I'm not really sure. I definitely think maybe at like bigger schools it would be different. Um, Especially like having a house and stuff because you live with them. But I don't know. I've never experienced that, so I honestly couldn't tell you.
So, what is the it's probably hard to pinpoint, but if you can, at least just 2 points. Tell me what is the best part about being in a sorority?
Gosh, I would say just the sisterhood. I've made a lot of really awesome friends through it. Lily's in my sorority now, so we get to bond through that, and then, Natalie is in a different sorority here, which is really awesome because we get to experience each other's events and stuff, but and make new friends through that, so I would just say, like, the sisterhood aspect. It's like having, 70 sisters that you could count on, and, you all get to experience college life together. But also just the like, being on our executive board, like, I've learned a lot of really valuable life skills, just, like, how to plan events and, handle the business aspect of, like, raising the money, like, you learn a lot of things through that.
I feel like talking to you, um, maybe some people would think maybe she's on her best behavior because she's on an adult, a real adult, like old people adult panel, you know what I mean? But
Right.
so I guess what I want to ask you is, do you feel like um when I okay, let me back up just a minute. When I think of sorority, now I never went to college. I went to Hamburger U. Okay, it's a thing. All right. All y'all out there laughing at me about this. My my subs will tell you it's a real thing. I went to Hamburger U and I've got 7 college credits from it. Okay. I can flip a burger. All right.
Really?
So yeah, right. I'm telling you, I've been to college, but when I think of sorority, fraternity kind of thing, um, I think of the stereotypical things: drinking, drugs, parties, girls, unprotected sex, STDs, scary, scary stuff.
Right.
Do you think, and I'm sure you heard the same things growing, maybe in your high school years or whatnot, or maybe even when you were looking into it, your first year of college. Do you think that we need to look at it differently now? Do you think it's have you ever watched Animal House
I haven't.
with John Belushi? I
Not.
have failed all of you children. I have failed all of you. Oh my gosh, all of us as parents have failed our sorority
I think Lily
fraternity
said that she's
children.
seen it. I think Oh,
Okay,
have you
so
not
if
seen
you
it?
could just
Oh, Lily wants to join in here.
Lily, come on in.
I was gonna follow up on your question about you maybe viewing college different from all that scary stuff, but and might not make you feel too good, but that stuff all completely does exist.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's so scary in the fact that it's happening. I just think obviously it sounds intimidating going into it, but that's part of it. That's part of the learning and the whole point of being here is to watch your peers be stupid, maybe be stupid yourself, and hopefully
Learn
Wow.
learn a
from it.
thing.
You know what? I gotta tell you this. I appreciate the honesty. I know that goes on. I mean, and truly, I kind of think a little bit like you. Like, I think it needs to go on to a certain degree. And that's how you separate the wheat from the chaff, right?
Right.
You can choose to learn to be an adult and handle those situations as an adult and what it's going to do with to your life later, right? Or you can choose to go full head on, dive deep, and it affect your life as a as adult on the outside of college, on the other side of college, in a totally negative way. So I'm
Right.
not a firm believer of packing all of you kids away in a boarding school so that you don't see the ugly. You need to be able to see the ugly. I'm a firm believer in that. Now, does that break my mama heart for all of you? Oh my God, I'm going to get tears. Oh, stop. Um, it breaks my mama heart for you guys. It really does that you guys have to experience that, right? But I know that it's all a part of growing up too. And it's also going to make you, um, whatever you choose to do or choose to be on the other side of college, it's going to make you that much more stronger because you have seen the ugly side of it. So I
Right.
appreciate so much you guys being very honest about that. I know that's there. And I hope you guys take the
I've learned
higher
a lot.
road. Make
Yeah.
make your mistakes. Just don't make the mistake so hard that it leaves a scar. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. We've learned a lot, like, even just freshman year, like, uh, witnessing other people, like, being stupid and doing whatever, like, you just learn, like, "Okay, this is what could happen," like, that we're not gonna do that, like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of lessons that you learn, especially living in the dorm. We
And
witnessed a lot.
you learn very quickly when you are up until 4 a.m. and then have to be at your 9 a.m. class the next day for a final. And then you think, okay, well, I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, you have to make your mistakes. You have to stumble. If you don't stumble, then it's going to come eventually, right?
Yeah.
The
Right.
letdown is going to come eventually. The best way to go ahead and have those lets down is as soon as you can get them over with, and that's how you grow. I want to jump into chat really quick because I feel like people, and I don't want it to get too far ahead of me, that if there are questions for you girls that can't be answered, okay? Because I've got a lot. I could do this all night long, and I know y'all have class tomorrow, and I want to be respectful of your time. Trudy said sorority life is a life experience in a great way, a true sisterhood.
Mhm.
Oh my God, you guys, this makes me want to cry, and I'm trying not to cry because I love all of you so much. I love young people. I love young people and elderly people.
We love
Marilyn Cup says, that's neat. I help run a food bank and do fundraising. Wow. Wow. You guys, this is our future right here. Hi, Black Rose. It's good to see you. Let me jump down. I know there was a question that somebody wanted to ask. Can you answer Kay's question? Where's Kay's question? Where's Kay's question?
I think it might have
Oh,
been asking what a sorority. Yeah, there.
yes. Okay. Can you guys answer that?
Yeah, so I don't really know where it came from, like the Greek. Do any of you know like how that started? Yeah, it's like Greek letters or whatever. And it's I honestly don't even know how to. It's just a group of girls, and you get put into one of the groups, and all of them are like Greek letter names. Um, and you don't necessarily get to choose which one you go into
You're
all
like
the time.
invited.
Yeah,
Like,
you're kind of like invited to join, not necessarily like a society or whatever, but it's just a like a club essentially, and you join, you get initiated.
secrets and
Yeah, there's like
ritual
ritual and like some secretive stuff. Um, yeah, and you have 70 sisters and just to hang out with. We do like sisterhood bonding events, obviously like our philanthropy events I talked about. Um, Anything else I'm forgetting?
It's just, I think the difference between, because there's many sororities and many fraternities, and I think the thing that separates them all is just like different common values.
Yeah, it's values. Yeah, and sororities are all
Mm,
girls, and fraternities are all boys. By the way, if anybody didn't know, but yeah, it's we all have like each sorority and fraternity has like a set of values that you live by, and um, yeah, and everybody has to have like a certain grade. So most of the time it's about scholarship and academics, but you get a lot of really good opportunities through being in Greek life.
wow. That's nice.
Yeah,
Um, Trudy also says sorority is about making better choices and having each other's backs.
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow. I love that so much. So, let me just make sure that there's, I'm in a new room, can turn off the lights so I can't type. Thanks. Do I get to choose my, Kay says, that's cute. Thanks. Do I get to choose my ritual?
It just depends. Each sorority has their own like tradition.
They were all founded in like the 1860s, early
Yeah.
1900s, so they're very like Christian based.
A lot
and
of
very
yeah.
like. Well, obviously we can't like practice it like Christianity now because of all the things that have happened.
Yeah, it's not as like religious based anymore, but most of them were founded a long time ago, so that's like the core value of most sororities.
Is that sad to you that the traditions have changed because of the times we live in?
I would say yeah.
I think there's a lot of things about Greek life, sororities and fraternities that it's a good thing that it's changed, and a lot of it I kind of wish. I always wish that I lived like this. You guys are gonna think this is so funny because you're adults, but I
Because
always wish that
you
I
mean
lived.
we're old. It's okay, honey. You can say it. We're all
No,
right.
adults. I always wish that I got to go to college in like the 80s and experience you know, I don't know, just a lot has changed.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of it is like your rituals and things like that. It's secretive, correct?
It is,
There are
yes. So once
secrets
you get
that you guys hold.
initiated, yes, yep. So you get initiated, and then you can't tell anybody certain things outside of your sorority. It's nothing
How
bad.
well are
I mean,
you? No, right. How well are you at keeping that?
pretty good. I mean, well, my roommate is in the same sorority as me, so like and it's nothing like I don't know. I don't feel the need to like blabber it to other people ever, but
It's
I
nothing
would
crazy.
think that that would kind of I would think it would kind of be for me, it would kind of be an honor to take an oath for something that I believed in and then to only be with the select few because it's not like you just sign a piece of paper and say I'm in. You actually have to be you have to put yourself out there, you have to go to these meet and greets, you have to, do the right talk, the right walk and all that and then they get to bid on you actually, correct? Not money-wise. Y'all don't get get this twisted. There's these people are not being bought, but they get to give you a bid to come into and join their sorority, correct?
yes, yep,
Okay, so it's not like you guys just say, "Oh, I'm gonna join that one right there. That's me." So I would think it would be an honor to, um, to take an oath for something and stand for something that, I mean, in an average of a whole world, you're very select.
yes, yeah,
I mean, you
and it
may not feel that, girls. You may not understand that, but if you just take the number of people just in this state alone and how many people are actually in only your sorority, you're very select. You're special people.
yeah, I like thinking about it like that.
Yeah. Yeah. When you have, if you have younger brothers or sisters, or hopefully this is way in the future for you guys, um, or you have cousins or something that's coming up, would you recommend sorority life to them?
I would.
Yeah.
Yeah. My like I said, my sister-in-law is the one that inspired me to join a sorority, and I would definitely tell anybody going into college to do it. You know, it's not for everyone. We do have girls that drop if they don't enjoy it because you do have to pay to be in it. You pay, your monthly
Mhm.
dues. So
Mm.
sometimes that can be an issue. Um, but I mean, yeah, I would always tell people because even just going through the process of like exploring all of the other sororities and stuff, you make a lot of friends. It's called recruitment week. It's nothing scary. You go to each sorority, you talk to some of the girls, um, and you're in a group of, it's called potential new members, is what the groups are called. So groups of girls will go in, to each sorority at a one at a time, whatever, and talk to the girls, get to know them, and then that's how the sorority decides if they want to bid on the potential new member. So like the girls in my recruitment group, like I still talk to them and they joined other sororities, they got bids from other sororities and I still talk to them. So it's nice to have
Mm.
connections like outside of just your group because you never know like who in the future you'll be hiring and I have a bunch of girls on LinkedIn and stuff like that. So you make a lot of really good connections that way. Just trying
Wow.
it and even if you don't join a sorority, like you still made friends in the process.
Wow. I love that. I really do. So my mind just went blank because I saw something in chat. Sorry. I wanted to say hi to those that came in that I didn't get to say hi to. Hi to those that are hanging out in the naked bushes. You guys leave your DNA on that like button. We got to get on the algorithm. I'm just a simple girl running a really, really cheap channel. Uh, for real. And I'm paying for this all by myself, y'all. So I got to get on the algorithm and just trying to put out good content. Thank you guys for liking this topic. Young people, want to tell you something. This was like I love talking the sorority life. I love talking about Greek life and stuff like that. I feel as a Greek mom, I call myself a Greek mom. Do y'all like that?
highlight that. Yeah.
Okay. As a Greek mom, I feel very honored that my child decided to go this route, even though I don't know how much true crime you guys follow or anything like that. But when uh, the Idaho 4 students were murdered over there in Idaho,
Yeah.
on the University of Idaho. Like, I just sat back and I watched, because Ethan, who was in a fraternity, um, I watched, and then the girls were in sororities. I watched online, like, sororities and fraternities take so much crap. Like, they were
Yeah.
just dragging every Greek letter under. And I thought to myself, now I didn't get invested. I did not entertain it. I did not. Of course, I wanted to jump out and say, "You all are freaking idiots," because what you're looking at is Greek life back in the day, back in our day, what it looked like, the really bad hazing, the really bad, scary stuff that went on. Some colleges, let's be honest, let's just call it what it is. Some do struggle with that still. They
Yeah.
really do. And some people have been very hurt over stuff like that, if not lost their lives and stuff like that. What do you say to those out there of any age that feels like that Greek life is nothing but a party game? It's nothing but harming people. They're nothing but losers. They're not getting good grades. They're out there just party. What do you say to the negative, to the loud people out there?
I would just say, in anything, like, it can take a few people to ruin something for everyone, and unfortunately, that's just how it is. Not every group is the same. Like, even in my sorority, you could look at my school, and it could be a completely different group of people than at a different school. Um, everyone's different. It is scary. I mean, you hear a lot of really horrible stories, especially back in the day. But I do think schools, especially, are trying to be really proactive about it. I know at my school, it's a huge, huge deal. Like, every sorority and fraternity is like required to go through like alcohol training, like hazing
Wow,
stuff.
really?
Oh yeah, like when we have events, obviously people drink, but we are required to have like sober monitors and they get trained. So we're really proactive about stuff like that, but it does stink that some people ruin it for everyone. But I mean, it's like that with everything, not just Greek life. So if people
That's correct.
yeah, if people are against Greek life, then I just say, you know, unless you've experienced it for yourself, it's like anything else. I mean,
Oh, wow, that's really nice.
yeah.
So
Um,
Oh,
sorry.
keep going.
Natalie's gonna add.
So
Go.
I'm the vice president of new member education in my sorority, and so I like basically get all of our new members like ready for initiation, so that like we know like they're a true
A
sister,
true
like they're gonna
member.
follow our values.
Yeah.
And what I tell
Mhm.
them like all the time, I'm like, you are now like, yeah, you're not initiated, but you're like going to be like everywhere you go, you are basically wearing your letters. Like everyone's gonna know that like you're in the sorority. Like act like you're wearing your letters at all time. Like hold the door open for someone, or just like
Yeah.
be courteous and be kind to
Wow.
everyone else. Follow your values. Like you are in the sorority for a reason. Follow our
Like,
values.
let people know, like, show
Yeah.
people that,
You
like,
want
it's
people to like
not
think highly of you and think
yeah.
highly of your sorority. You don't want to like act stupid at a frat and people like, oh, I don't like that girl in that sorority. Like everyone in that sorority acts like that. Like just don't be stupid.
Yeah,
That's
like,
what I have to tell them. Represent well.
represent the chapter as a whole well, because, one person shouldn't have a reputation for everyone in your group.
Mm-hmm.
Like that person just said in the chat. Yeah, you wanna represent yourself well.
Exactly.
Y'all, I love that so much. That's called integrity.
Yeah.
What you do outside of yourself and while no one's watching is called integrity.
Mm-hmm.
And when you can care about people, the people you're involved with more than yourself, a lot of times that'll keep you out of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
Because sometimes we don't care about what we're just having fun, right? Just having a
Mhm.
great time. But if you look around at the people you care about and love and what it will do to them, I'm telling you, it changes the game.
Absolutely.
I love what they're saying in here. You're representing the entire group. Yes, yes. I just want to make sure I'm keeping up. Whoever is speaking sounds like a beautiful soul. Oh, there's
It's a
two of them right here. Right, I think there's four girls all together in one room,
there is, yes.
Yeah.
and they are taking turns talking to us. And I Sarah's name is on panel, so we're just going to call them all sweet. That's what we're going to do. Let me step away just a minute from Greek life. Do you do you girls know what I'm talking about when I say generational curses?
Yeah, I mean, I do. Do you?
Maybe. I don't know.
Mm,
Like one person not okay, let me try to explain. Like, let's say your parents think one way or do something, like, they pass it on to their kids. Is that what you mean?
uh-huh. Yes, ma'am. And the curse just keeps repeating itself over and over again, right? Do you feel like any of you or all of you, do you feel like there is a generational curse um, that that is in your family, and you don't have to say by which grandparent or which parent or whatever. Do you feel like there's a generational curse that's in your family that you would either like to try to break or that you're the one that's going to break it?
Um, that's a good question. I think so. I mean, I love all my family members, so I wouldn't I wouldn't change anything, but I do think, like, there are things that, like, my parents' generation just do in general that I wouldn't I wouldn't wanna do, like, when I'm older, if that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah, sure, sure. And you have to be careful because you don't want to call anything out. Say, oh well, my parents are this or that, and make them look bad. And
Right.
that's not what I'm trying to do at all. I just want to
Yeah.
know if you are able to recognize things in generations before you that you're like, "Oh, no, like, no, no, no. We're not doing that no more."
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this. What is something in my so there's a generation no, is there a generation between you and me?
Um,
Millennials.
millennial
Le
yeah.
Okay,
We're
We're Gen Z.
Gen Z, yeah.
okay. So, um, is there anything in I'm just gonna put it this way, generations before you that you hold dear, that you hope that you could pass on to the next generation?
I would just say
What if
I would say
Go
work
ahead, babe.
ethic.
Mhm.
I think I think that's the main thing that I see a lot in my generation that is changing a lot, and I don't like it. Um, and just
Oh,
I don't know.
talk about that. No, talk about that's good.
Okay, now
Talk
that
So
about that.
I work in retail, and so I kinda work with, like, a wide range of, like, ages. Like, I have a couple, like, older ladies, and then I have a lot of, like, high schoolers, and I noticed, like, these older ladies are, like they're literally just working to, like, get some, like, extra money, and, like, they are so sweet, but they are, like, the hardest workers I know. And the high schoolers will come in, like, later in the day, and, like, all they do is sit on their
they just
phone,
don't
and it
care.
really it irks me. I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Like, please, just like, I feel like I'm in the middle here because like, I'm only 20 and I, like, hang out with the high schoolers a little bit, but I'm like, "Okay, like, are you gonna, like, do
You're
it?"
like, "I'm
Like,
trying to,
I
like,
get we're
teach them."
talking, but, like, you can, like, multitask at least, like, please.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's how I
It's
feel.
hard to be in the middle. It's hard to
Yeah,
be in the middle because you still, these are your kind of your peers, but at the same time, you just want to grab them by the collar and say, "Look, we got to," because
yeah,
it's up to you. You're the ones that, we taught you. You teach the next one,
and
right?
I'm very
I
grateful to
love
have
it.
working parents who, like, worked and, like, um, earned their earnings.
Yeah.
Just I have, like, watched my parents,
Mm.
like, go from nothing to, like, stabilize our family and, like, go on vacations every year, and, like, I think knowing that and, like, having those role models, like, makes me like, "Okay, if I want what I want, like, I'm gonna have to work no matter what."
Yeah. I think especially since coming to college, and I don't mean to I don't want to bash anybody my age, but like I just was really grateful coming into college because I looked at some of the people around me and I was like, okay, maybe I was upset in high school and middle school and whatnot that my parents made me work hard and do
Mhm.
chores and, mow the grass, like whatever. But like now that I'm in
Mm.
college, I'm like, I'm so grateful that my parents raised me that way because there are a lot of people that weren't raised like that and you can tell. Like,
Yeah, you
you
can
can,
tell whose parents made
yeah,
that like, did everything for them, and then the ones
who
who
like had to
actually,
do
like,
stuff.
could live.
Yeah. Who can live on their own.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah.
what do you think that looks like for people who did not have the chores, who weren't made to do the responsible thing, whose parents did it? What does that look like for them as on the other side of college?
I would just say, like, not knowing,
How
like,
to do
how
laundry, how to do
yeah.
dishes. Like, people, like, in the dorms when people would just, like, leave their dishes in the sink, like the community kitchen where everyone else
Yeah.
is using it on the floor and you're just leaving all your stuff there. Like, clean up after
Yeah,
yourself.
people
It's
would,
not that
like
hard.
people would not like, we don't like, we had communal laundry, like,
Yes.
washers and dryers. People wouldn't transfer their stuff to the dryer and,
Or the
like
bathroom, like,
oh
people
my
will
god, the
leave their
bathroom.
crap in the
People
bathroom, like, shaving,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
clean up.
in
It's
the
not that
bathrooms
hard.
especially, like, there just will be girls' hair, like,
It's
long hair everywhere.
gross.
I'm like, "Are you it's not that hard to
Like, I get when you're at home, like, you have your hair on the, like, wall, but you are sharing the bathroom with 6 other people. Like,
Yeah, it's just weird.
clean
It's
up.
like small things that and, like, common sense things too.
Well, there was last year that dyed her hair in our bathroom,
Oh my
and there
god.
was just like red hair dye everywhere. And like we had like a group chat, and we were all saying how like it needs to get cleaned up. And basically, the girl who did it like was just like trying to start fights with people. She was like, "You can just say my name and come tell me."
Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Like
Oh,
it's just
goodness.
not handled
Some
well.
people just don't like, it just takes them a little longer to learn how to live on their own, but that's okay. Everybody moves at their own pace, but it's just, like, respectful things, like, I don't know.
No self-awareness, no
No self
No.
accountability.
Yeah, and even,
Mm,
like, I don't know, even since I moved out of the dorm, like, you could just tell who, like, was babied their whole life and who wasn't, which sounds mean,
mm.
but, like, it's
It's
true.
true.
Hey, listen, there's nothing I love more than the truth,
Yeah.
Mhm.
than the truth. Um, so what is it that you wish that generations, my generation, other generations before you understood about you?
I think because there's certain people who were raised differently and who were babied and, like, don't have that work ethic, that doesn't mean it's the whole generation.
Yeah.
I feel like there's more of us have a better work ethic and have that, like, mindset of, like, we have to work for what we want.
I get really frustrated sometimes when, like I get on Facebook a lot, and I get really frustrated when I see things that are just, like, complaining about our generation, which I understand, but I mean, it's the same thing with the whole sorority fraternity thing, like, just because some people are lazy or whatever, doesn't mean that everybody is, like, it just makes me feel like it makes me feel bad about my age, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
I just feel like I'm like, "Okay, I'm ready to grow up
Ah,
a little," because, like, I hate that people don't take me seriously, and, I have a part-time job, like, I work a real job, and I just feel like a lot of the time, like, my some people just don't take me seriously, and I'm like, I wish that it wasn't that way. Like, I'm 20 years old,
mm,
but, like, I have the same ideas as everybody else.
And I feel
So,
like you can have better ideas
yeah,
because you're
like,
learning, like, you're
I'm
adapting
learning
with
more,
life.
yeah. So I just get frustrated when I see
good.
on Facebook people posting like, "Gen Z is so lazy," whatever. I'm like, "Okay, well, it's not everybody."
So you feel like that you're all being lumped into one box.
Kind of,
Mhm.
yeah.
Mm, I understand that in a way. I mean, people, you know how many dumb blonde jokes I've heard?
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah. So I understand that. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I have been guilty. I've been
Yeah.
guilty about lumping all of you guys together. All right. Let me just tell you. me tell you girls something. So when I went and dropped off 2 college students on, freshman day, move into the dorms and all this, you know, I am a very emotional person. Like, I get happy, I get sad, I get really sad. If I wear my heart on my sleeve, it's when like, things that are endearing to me bring tears to my eyes. I'm just a freaking idiot all the way around. And so I'm dropping off these kids, and I'm watching your generation walk around this college campus, and my heart filled with, "Oh my god, you know what? I was so wrong." Like, I was so wrong. These kids are out here, everybody's from a different walk of life. Everybody's comes from a different household, which is just a whole different world. Each household is a world to me.
Mhm.
And all they're doing is just trying to get an education and make something of their life, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
Girls.
always just try to think, like everybody's in their own path of life. Everybody does everything differently. Like we're all just, especially in college, like we're just here to get a degree and, figure out what we're doing with our lives. So like just being respectful to everyone, like it's just not that hard. I don't know. And we just by generation, like all of us Gen Z, like we're just trying to figure out like what we're doing and where we fit in. And
Like, we're
so
still growing.
yeah, like I see it a lot on campus, like what you said.
How do you feel about, can we talk mental illness a little bit now?
Yeah,
Okay. So you understand that your generation is really the generation that has really brought mental illness to the forefront,
yeah,
right?
definitely.
I mean, it may have been older people that are on the news talking about it, but it's your generation that is actually looking around going, no, we're not going to bully people that are depressed. And no, she has got anxiety problems. And no, he's just struggling today. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay. And and stop it. You know what I mean? Whereas my generation and above, we're all hiding our crazy, right? So you guys have opened a door for me to come out and say, y'all, I'm freaking nuts. Like, I'm just freaking nutcase. You guys have opened that door, and you should be proud of yourselves for that. How how do you think that we as a nation are doing with the mental health crisis that's going on?
I think we're just making it more like not I think we're normalizing it. Like normalizing that like so many people have depression and anxiety and ADHD
And it's
and depression.
okay.
Yeah.
Like it's
Like
okay to talk about it.
yeah. Like I feel like it wasn't like people were too afraid to talk about like depression and going to therapy, and now it's like people like encourage therapy and like even if you're not severely depressed, maybe just having someone to talk to. And like our college like has free counseling and like therapy. So I think like being in college and knowing that like mental health is so hard on college students, like having those resources is great for us here.
I just think the difference between generation is like maybe you guys were like you didn't talk about it. It was there. It was there just the same as
Mm,
it is right now. People are always like, "Oh, well, everyone has anxiety now or everyone has." But like it's the same as your generation, just people are talking about it now. Like it's not like it's like this new like spreading to everyone. Like people are just bringing it up more and making it okay to
mm.
talk about it and get help.
Do you feel like it's used as an excuse now, though?
I do. I mean,
Yeah, because in sororities, like people will be like, "Oh, I can't go to this event.
I'm
I'm
having
having
a
a bad
bad mental
mental
health
health
day.
day."
Yeah, which
Mm,
I understand because, I've had those days where like, okay, you just don't want to get out of bed today. Like I'm not feeling like I just don't want to be around people. Like I've had those days, but I don't know. I see it a lot in college that like it's kind of maybe
Mhm.
being used as an excuse to like not go to class or go to work. Like when I don't want to say like it sounds so bad to say like suck it up. That sounds horrible, but like sometimes
You
you
have to
have
do
to
the
go
things you have to
yeah, like
do.
you have to do the things that you don't want to do.
You can't just live life sitting all day.
oh,
Like you
Yeah.
have to do things.
Yeah, and I think that
oh,
especially in college, like, I see a lot on social media, like people just want to stay in bed all day and like have mental health days, which is fine, but like in moderation is what I believe.
Suck it up. I like it. Listen, my kids grew up hearing that, and my kids say it to their own kids, suck it up,
Yeah.
because it's true. It's true. You got to kick your own butt and get out there.
Yeah.
Let me just check back with chat. Hey, everybody that just came in or have come in, and I haven't said hey to you guys. We're having college night over here. We've got 4 girls that have joined us up on panel, kind of in one room, answering questions about being a young person in this world and going to college and living a sorority life and managing and juggling all those things. I think this was hysterical what Kay said right here, because this is so true. Trust me, girls, we didn't manage to hide it all that well. That's true. That's true. But now we just drink in public. Normalizing mental health is so important. I'm really impressed with these younger people. All right. Another topic. I'm trying to get all this thing because we've been on now. Oh, shoot, for an hour. I'm so sorry.
No, it's
Um,
okay. I'm having
I'm trying
fun.
to, okay, I'm trying to hurry this through. How does you guys understand? I know you already know this, but I got to drive it home. You ready?
I'm ready.
You guys get to take care of us guys. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Congratulations, all of you. How do you, does that ever come to your mind that you, we're it, you guys? Like, we're the next president of the United States. We're the next Congress. We're the next people that are going to run these nursing homes. We're the next people that are going to be these doctors and taking care of these elderly people. Our parents may one day come and live with us. We may end up being their caretaker. Do you ever think on in that term, or has it hit you yet?
Yeah, definitely. I always think this is kind of funny, but the thing that always comes to my mind is like the people that are around me at school right now, like they're gonna be surgeons one day. Like, do I trust
Mhm.
that? Like,
Y
that just doesn't.
That's cute.
Now because everything's online and like
Yeah.
so many people
Everybody
use
cheats.
cheats. So you're like, wow, am I gonna have this person do like surgery on me who's just like using like AI or like some random website
Oh
to
my
do their
word. I
I
never
always
gave that any thought. Oh, wow.
yeah.
Okay, so number 1, guys, mark this down. Make sure that all your doctors are over 50 years old. All right, we got
Yeah.
that. We learned that from you today. All right, great. No, the reason why I asked you that is because honestly, I never even thought about politics until I was in my 30s.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I honestly like okay, I don't really follow politics that much right now because I don't it stresses me out. Like I grew
Mhm.
up in a family that politics was something that was talked about a lot. Um and I don't know, like growing up I just didn't really feel the need to like focus on that. But like now that I get older, I kind of am forming my own views. So like it becomes a little more prevalent and it's obviously on social media. A lot of people talk about it. But
Um, I'm not gonna ask you who or what or why, but how I mean, you guys are of the age now, and we're coming up on it. Do you plan
yeah.
to vote? And don't tell me who or what or why. I just wanna know yes or no.
Yes.
Yeah, I do. I just registered to vote actually before on like the
Are
last
you
day.
excited about that?
I am. I This will be my first time voting. I was 18 when we could vote for something. I don't remember what
The
it was.
midterms.
Was that it? Yeah, but I didn't. So I'm excited to vote, but I don't know. It kind of scares me no matter what happens, but
Mm. Do you think your vote counts?
No, I did this thing in
oh
econ
yeah.
that we had to like he did the math and see if your like vote actually counted and it really doesn't.
But it does, but I don't know. It's
It's
hard
like
to
one and
Yeah, it's
something.
hard to picture it on like a large scale.
Mm, gotcha. Gotcha. Okay, let me see. What else do I have here? I have so much. You guys, I have 2 pages on this, 2 pa and I thought, well, if we don't get through it, then I'm just gonna have them come again and
Heck
again and
yeah.
again. Um, what do you think the number one thing is that your generation faces today that um, that maybe my generation didn't, or the generations before me?
I would say maybe just like cost of living. I don't know. I feel like when my
Mm,
parents when my parents talk about uh I'm 20 years old, like they're starting to talk to me about, all right, when you graduate college, like this is what we did, like what are you going to do? And hearing like how your generation, bought houses and stuff like that, like I just don't see that happening for
oh
me.
wow,
College. Um I don't know, I think that scares me a little bit, like compared to your generation, that's something that's very different, like
I think
cost.
it's very scary because it's like I really don't want to move home after like college, but
But
like I might have
yeah,
to
we're probably
because
gonna have to.
like am I gonna have enough money like saved up to like buy an apartment, buy a house, like and just like seeing the cost of living in all the like different cities, it's like you have to make like $75,000 a year
Yeah.
to even like live comfortably,
Yeah,
like right out of
oh
college. How
wow,
am I?
for my mom's birthday one year, she had this, like, paper printed off that was, like, on this day, however many years ago, and it was, like, a thing of bread is 95 cents, and, like, gas was,
yeah,
you know, 1 whatever, and I'm like, "Oh my I can't even imagine, like, living in a time like that."
it's
Like,
scary, right?
it is very scary
Mhm.
because it's only just gonna get worse, like, as
Right.
we go on.
And you know what's we kind of parallel in that way, just at different points in our life because y'all are looking at like, all right, we're can you believe it, you guys? We're almost halfway through college.
Yeah,
Where did the time go, right? We got just halfway to go, and then we're supposed to have the world figured out. That must be something that y'all think about. Like we're supposed to have it figured out, and I still feel so confused about everything. Am I correct?
yeah,
Yeah,
very,
it's so scary.
yeah,
Right? And then you think, well, what are we going to do after? Am I going to have to move back home? I'm not going to have enough money. So, where we parallel is my generation is coming up within the next 10 years, 15 years for some of us on retirement. Where are
right,
we going to go? Have we saved enough money to live 20 years past retirement?
right,
Are we going to have to move in with our children? So we're
Mhm.
kind of paralleling. I think somehow the those 2 generations need to come together and figure something out for the greater good. I don't
yeah,
know that
like,
it'll ever happen. I don't know if it's even possible. But maybe if we could all be mindful that what you're facing in your generation, that uncertainty of, "Oh my god, am I ever gonna have a normal, quote, unnormal, normal, whatever? Am I ever gonna have that house with the car, just a 40-hour-a-week job with the children and the spouse and whatever, and be able to maintain my bills?" While my generation is saying, "Oh my god, am I gonna have enough money to maintain my bills, still live in the home that I" you know what I mean? If
Mhm.
we can maybe understand that we're both kind of in that same limbo, then maybe
work
we're I don't yeah, or just a better understanding because let's face it, excuse me, I got a cough.
you're good.
We're gonna take a break here in just a few minutes because y'all know I gotta go have me a cigarette. Um, and I gotta get a drink and I gotta pee, okay? I got an old bladder.
You're
Um,
good.
but I don't know that anything could ever be done about that, but if we could understand that um, not to look at if my generation cannot look at your generation and just say they don't have their shit figured out, when I was their age, blah blah, and all the other crap that goes with it, and your generation doesn't look at my generation going, well, damn, they've been working for 40 freaking years. You'd think they have the shit figured out and have it, you know, we don't.
Yeah,
We're not. I'm going to be the first one to tell you, I'm 54 years old. 54 years old. All of my children are grown. I'm an empty nester. We won't talk about that. Anyways, and I sometimes feel more confused today than I've ever been. And I think
Yeah.
it's because I've always been a mom, right? I like my kids just needed me to help them get through their life and to raise them and stuff. And then my kids decide well, they wanted to grow up, whatever. They wanted to move away, whatever. Well, then they've left me over here to do freaking nothing. You know what I mean? Like, what am I supposed to do? So I think if we can all figure out and only just have, if all we can do is have compassion for each other instead of tearing each other down and saying it's that generation's fault or it's that generation's fault, then maybe that's where the difference can come in is just the compassion.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Everybody's figuring it out, you know. No,
yeah,
it doesn't matter if you're graduated and, you know, have a job, like it's all of our first times doing life. So,
Lisa S wants to know how you feel about the way our country is heading. And I know that's kind of vague. It's kind of a large, I mean, we're headed in all different directions.
yeah.
But so I'm not exactly, maybe they're talking about politically or maybe they're talking medically. I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, I'm blown away really because I never once thought about until you girls said it about you guys doing online classes and doctors. I'm blown away by that
Yeah.
completely. So maybe Lisa, give us a, you know, break it down smaller for us. So electoral votes per state, they want to get rid of it. Ah, so everyone's vote will count. I'm not gonna lie,
Mhm.
girls, I don't know that I'm gonna vote. My
Yeah.
family doesn't like to hear it because my family comes from, they're very political, they're very open mouthed about everything and loud about everything. And I'm shitty. I'm a middle-aged pissed off woman, okay? So I'm shitty and I don't know that I'm gonna vote. I'll cross that bridge when it comes.
Yeah.
That's something
I don't blame
scary
you.
for the people of all ages now. Prices are so outrageous. Yeah, they're gonna continue.
Yeah.
Hello to everybody who just came in or has come in since I've said hello. I just want to make sure that um, there's no questions for y'all. If y'all have any questions for the girls, just put them in chat and we will get to them. Kay said, I'm old and have no questions figured out. That's the truth. That's it. Listen, I think we got to be honest with these people, with these children, you guys, and I'm going to call you children, but these young adults, we got to be honest about it, you guys. We don't have no more nothing figured out than what they do. Let's just be real. We know how to be parents. We know how to pay our to look for the best prices in our insurance for our cars and stuff like that. But we're confused. We're damn confused. God, we're so confused. I'm confused. Um, all the questions keep changing. Lisa says, I just met in general the way things have changed so much. Yeah. So how do you feel? Do you feel like our country is better off today than it was, say, when you were in junior high school?
Absolutely not. I don't. I don't know. I I
Wow.
get
Speak that.
I mean, I get scared like looking at how much things have changed like since I was a child compared to being 20 years old. Like it does scare me how much things have changed and how they're going to keep changing. Like Natalie mentioned earlier, like people are using AI for school. Like how is that going to affect everything? And like I don't know. Social media is a good thing and like having our phones at our convenience is a good thing, but like I just so wish that it wasn't that way. Like I wish it was still the old days, I guess you could say. I mean, not like the 80s and not like I know there were bad things all the time, but um yeah, there will be bad things all the time, but I don't know. I get scared. I don't really like the way things are shaping out to be, but it'll all be okay.
Okay. Um, Kay wants to know, does stuff keep changing? Kay, yes, I learn that every day. Hey PCT, I started voting in the Obama time when I got married. Okay. So you started voting later in life. I think I voted first time when I was 18. They want to
Really?
know if you were alive yet when 911 happened. I
I
can
was
answer
not.
that for you. They were not alive when that happened. Do you know about it?
Oh,
Yes.
Do you
absolutely, yeah.
do you understand it?
Yeah.
What really so if you were to watch have you ever watched a film on it or some of the documentation on it or anything like that? Have you ever watched
Yeah.
any
Yes.
of it?
It's like a
How did it make you
hyperfixation.
feel?
Yeah.
How did it make you
Yeah, a
feel when
little.
you
Sorry, go ahead.
no, I just wanna know how you felt watching it from, you know, like it had already been way past by the time you watched it, but is it still a very real effect, and did it still have a very real, um, mark on your life or mark on your heart, or did it did it does it just feel like watching a movie?
I think I mean, it feels real even though we didn't experience it. We growing up, I don't know if schools are still like this, but, elementary school every year on 9/11, we learned about it, we watched videos, and I remember being in 3rd grade and watching videos of it and being like, "I can't even believe this that they're making us watch this, like, this is so horrible."
Right.
And
I get very emotional,
yeah,
like,
it
about it. Like,
yeah.
I don't know, it hits home for me. Like, I don't know why I'm so, like
Natalie yeah.
I'm very interested in it. I will watch all the documentaries. Like, every time that rolls around, like, I'm literally all I'm watching for a week straight is just 9/11 documentaries.
Yeah.
It's very, like
Wow.
it's very interesting to me about
Yeah, and it's
how
interesting
everything.
how much things changed after that.
Yes, like, I feel
Like
like
what?
going
Airports for
airports.
one, yeah, and just I don't know, I feel like everything e yeah,
Sec
every security thing, and I mean, it's the same thing nowadays, like gun violence and stuff, like, you don't just walk into a place without them looking through your bag and walking through a metal detector, like, um, I don't know, I just feel like everything has changed since that happened. Even though we didn't experience it, like, I feel like we know, um, we learned a lot about it.
That's when the world changed. Yeah.
Yeah,
The world really did change that day, you guys. Um,
yeah.
how speaking of weapons, how do you feel about gun control? If you don't wanna
Uh,
answer that, don't answer it.
no, honestly, I'm not really sure how I feel about it because, I grew up in a family that has very strong opinions about that topic, so I haven't really figured out what my opinions are yet, but, you see what goes on in the world, and it's scary, and I don't I don't like it. I mean, I when I go in public, I'm constantly like, "Okay, where's the nearest exit? Like, how can I get out of this
Oh,
crowd?" Like,
wow.
and I feel like that's not something that your generation thought of when you were younger. Like,
No.
uh, I go to the movie theater, I'm like, "Where's the exit sign?" I'm sitting in class, and I'm like, "All right, well, we could hide here." Like, it's just something that our generation thinks about now.
Yeah, the Alice drills. I forgot about those.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
we
had to do, like, drills once a month, and, like, our school, like, they would have, like, the drum line, like, come in, and they'd, like,
no
act
way,
yes, they,
actually.
like, would act like gunshots, so, like, we knew what to do, and, like, if the, like, gunshot was close to you, like, did you run or did you hide? And,
Our
like
school did not do
yeah,
that.
we had to do that.
We did, like, lockdown drills where they would just come over the announcement system and be like, "Okay, lockdown," and then we would hide away from the window, like, on the floor, whatever, but we didn't do anything crazy like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like that's a big generational change.
Do you, I know Sarah is from the Indy region.
Yes.
Do you remember the day, that for those of you that are in the Indy region as well, um, that, Noblesville West, uh,
I do
um,
remember that.
do you remember the shooting there?
Yeah. Yeah, I do remember, and I remember my parents I didn't know your family well, I knew your other son, um, but
Mhm.
um I didn't know the rest, so I do remember, like, my parents that day saying, like, "Oh, we have friends that know somebody that was there," and I remember being like, "Oh, that's crazy, I've never known anybody that had experienced something like that." But, yeah, I remember that day very vividly.
You guys know that your friend there in college was there that day, right? I know he probably
Yeah,
doesn't
he's
speak
almost
about
got
it
it.
much.
Yeah.
Do you think since that okay, so I mean, you're living this because it's in your community, basically, the greater part of Indianapolis. Do
Yeah.
you feel like your school changed at all after that happened?
Not really. I mean, honestly, even before that happened, we still did the same drills. I remember, like, I had Instagram at the time, and I remember people would post, like, you know, hashtag pray for Noblesville or whatever, but,
Mhm.
nothing, like, within our school procedures ever changed.
I feel like school procedures changed though, like after Sandy Hook. Like
Yeah,
when we were like
Mm,
little,
we were
I think that's
little.
when
It was widespread enough at
over
that
yeah.
point.
Yeah, at the time of
yeah.
the Noblesville stuff, like,
I feel like it's almost like
Sandy Hook had already
normalized though,
happened, and it
because
was
like
normalized, yeah.
Which
Mm.
is insane.
All right,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
It's insane to think that, even when we were like in elementary school, early middle school, we were doing lockdown drills for potential shooters, and then to think of even in like the last few years how much that has just like skyrocketed, and like Sarah was saying earlier, it's very real to even consider that you are a full grown adult walking around a college campus thinking at any moment like
Mm.
something insane could happen.
Wow. Yeah, that's gotta be I just can't like you said, when I was younger, we didn't never worry about that stuff. You got listen, my heart breaks for you. It breaks for my grandkids. It breaks for your children. It just I can't imagine what kind of a world or what kind of fears you guys have to deal with that I didn't have to deal with. I just can't imagine it.
It is very
All right. Hope's Echo wants to know, does AI scare you?
kind of. It's good and it's bad. I think people are using it for cool things and good things, but I also think, um, it could get a little bit scary. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm I'm not really a
Lily's a
believer.
nursing major, so she, like, can't cheat. I don't know. We were talking about I think you were out of the
You're
room. We were talking about how, like, our generation is gonna be, like, surgeons and
Yeah.
stuff one day, and, like, they're using AI to cheat in college.
I'm really trying not to be a fearful person, so all those ideas that it could like take over or turn into something worse, I don't really believe that. I think that it's a code in a system and someone could press delete should that day come.
Yeah.
Mm,
Um but I say the only fear that comes from it, for me at least, is just that it's people rely on it so much that no one's ever gonna have any information actually in their head.
People are gonna lose brain power, like,
Mhm.
especially people, like, right now that are in 4th, 5th grade. I work with kids, my job, I work
mm,
with elementary school kids, and, like, just hearing the way that they talk, I'm like, "Oh my goodness,"
Yeah.
like, you were raised so differently from me, like, you have your phone with you, you're in 4th grade, and, like, you know what AI is, like, how are you ever gonna grow up and be able to graduate high school with, like, all of that at your fingertips? Like, that's scary.
I feel like I have used AI in college for like assignments and other stuff like as like a helpful tool, but I'm
Yeah,
glad I didn't have this when I was
me
junior high, high
too.
school. Like I am very glad I didn't grow up with AI.
Yeah, I agree.
wow. Okay. Lisa says, I worry about the chips they talk about one day when they want all of us to have that instead of money. What is your opinion on it?
I don't I don't know. That doesn't I've never really thought about that, honestly. I've never really heard much about it. I've seen, like, maybe a few videos, but it's not really talked about a whole lot. So, I don't really worry about it that much, but, um, I don't know, I guess there could be pros and cons to that, but I don't think I would want that. I mean, I wouldn't want somebody to put a chip in my hand.
Like your phone is basically your
Yeah,
phone.
your phone is basically the same thing. I mean, they always say, like,
That's
"Oh,
true.
Facebook is listening to you," like, it'd be the same thing with a chip in your hand.
Mm. Tabby says, I didn't used to have to worry about exits and hiding from gunmen while growing up. Yeah, I mean, they live in a totally different, I mean, even us in our generation now, we need to be, you know, when we're going to grocery stores and stuff like that. It's good to it's good to be aware, but I know that y'all's generation, it's actually a fear. It's not so much awareness as it is a fear. I mean, you have
Yeah.
your mind gives you no choice but to go to those places because of what you've been through. It's
It
very
is a
sad.
fear. Like, I remember my brother just had his first, baby, and I remember earlier in the year when they told me that they were gonna have a baby, like, I remember laying in bed one night and being like, "Oh my gosh, like, he's gonna grow up and, like, what if he's in a school shooting?" Like, I remember that was a genuine fear that I had, so I think it's sad that people have to deal with that. Like, it's scary to send your
Mm,
kids off to school and think about
mm.
that.
I think it's scary being in public sometimes because when you're like, if you're like in an event, like a festival, like where there's a whole bunch of people, you're like, someone could have a gun right now and just pull it
And you would
out,
never
and you would
know.
never know.
Mm,
Like
I think that just like that
mm.
generally scares
personally, based on like all of the gun stuff that's been going on, like I don't go certain places anymore.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember the last time I've gone to a movie theater. Like there's certain malls I won't go to. I won't go to fairs. Like places like that.
Oh,
Like
wow.
just because of all the stuff that's been going on. Like I feel like you never know when something like that could happen. Like even at school, there's been times this year that like guns have been caught in dorms.
Yeah.
And like you just never know when something like that's gonna happen.
or like you make the wrong person mad, or
Mhm.
like that's scary.
Mm. Wow. I guess, you know what, honestly, and I've got a kid in y'all's generation, and I never really gave a whole lot of thought to that. That's really sad. Tevi says so many pros and cons to AI, but experts are warning us against it too. Yes. Hope's Echo wants to know, did the C, we're not allowed to say that on, you know what C I'm talking, the pandemic, did it
Oh,
change your
yes.
life or your mental health?
I 100% think I would say yes because, I was what grade? We were sophomores.
Yeah,
Yeah, we were
sophomores.
sophomores when it all started. Um, and I mean, we were in our houses, everything was online, school. I think personally, my school work ethic changed a lot because I got so used to, waking up at 9 a.m. and okay, well, I could join 2 Zoom classes today and then kind of BS my homework for the week. Like, so I think my school work ethic changed a lot, and it took a really, really long time to get back into the habits that I had.
Wow.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't, though, right? I mean, a lot of people didn't go back to school.
And it also
Mhm.
just changed the way that our generation deals with like their social lives. Like, us back to the sorority thing, like we've noticed a lot that like some girls, if an event isn't mandatory, like they would rather be at home watching TV or whatever than hanging out with their friends. Like it I feel like people just got so used to it that it's kind of scary because sometimes I don't even remember what life was like before then because it's so different. Like nobody
Wow.
wants to do anything in person anymore. If there's a virtual option, people are going to
Everyone does
choose
the
that.
virtual option.
And in a way it's like all connected
Wow.
because that's why every kid is probably cheating on their homework and nobody has to learn answers for anything because it's all online anyways and grades didn't count then and
Mhm.
So I truly do believe that eventually the brick and mortar schools are going to be going away. I, I
Yeah.
think at least, I think by the time you girls have grandchildren, and I know that you feel like that's far off, I'm telling you it's not. Life happens that quick. Um, but whenever you have grandchildren, I really do believe that the brick and mortar schools are going to be gone. I think everything is going to be done online. How do you feel about that?
I don't like it. I mean, when I'm making my schedule, like I'll throw like 2 online classes in there, but I try to do a lot of in person because like you're paying for the
Mhm.
college experience, like and
Mm,
how are kids gonna make friends, like, younger
Yeah.
kids? Like, you're not gonna have a social life, and, like, I don't know, there's just too many cons.
I mean, even when we were seniors in high school, it was already. I mean, that was post COVID, and
mm,
when the world was presumably going back to normal, but we still got out early on Wednesdays. We had half days on Fridays. We had e-learning days when the teachers had meetings, so it was like we were
Everything had changed.
pretty much already doing everything online.
And it was so easy, like you don't have snow days anymore. Like everything's online for
Mhm.
snow days. Like so kids don't have that opportunity to go play in the snow or have fun like how
Yeah.
we were when we were in elementary school. And they
And
have to do work and do assignments
a
all
lot
day.
of the times, especially with college, it's like, okay, well, I'm doing the same stuff in my in-person class. Like, I could be doing this online at home and it would be a lot more convenient. And like, I find myself thinking that a lot, but then I'm like, I'm totally missing out on like making connections and like getting out of the house. Like, I notice my mental health is not good when I'm at home for like a long amount of time. So that's why I'm like, okay, I need to start scheduling more in-person classes because I just need to have a routine. Like, I need to get out of the house. So that scares me that little kids like potentially wouldn't experience that.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay. What would you like to see changed about the world during your lifetime?
I think our generation is starting to move to a like less I don't know. I see a lot of I'm on TikTok. I see a lot of parents like I'm not going to let my kids have iPads. I'm not going to let like my kids are going to go outside. Like I'm starting to see that a lot more often on social media, and I think that's really good. And personally, like when I have kids, that's how I'd like to raise them. Like you're not going to have a phone till you're, you know, getting off the bus by yourself and staying at home. Like that's how it was for
How we
me.
were raised.
Yeah, like so I think
Mm.
a lot of our generation is starting to realize like that the way that we're living isn't the best, and hopefully enough people are trying to make a change.
Wow, I really, really love that, you guys. I really do. That's wow. So that brings me the next. So social media. I feel like even my generation, right? My generation and your generation, like that's all we do. Social
Yeah.
media, phones, what we can do on the computer. I mean, we can't even go out to eat anymore without there being phones all over nobody has conversations anymore, right? Although
Yeah. It makes
you can sit and talk to your friends for 2 hours on the freaking text message,
yeah.
but you can't have a 20-minute face-to-face conversation.
Yeah.
That's
I feel
scary.
when I think about it, and at least for me, it's like you look around and everyone recognizes the issues. We all know that we are on our phones too much. We all know that we are addicted, but at this point, it's almost like
It's a habit.
it's a losing battle. Like it feels like there's nothing you can do about it. Like you don't have social media, like you're basically not involved in today's culture, and like you're going to be left behind. So it's like, even though, yes, I'm addicted to my phone and, I can't go to bed at night without scrolling through all my social media and making sure I'm up to date on everyone, it's like I don't know an alternative to that, even though I recognize that that's probably not the best for me.
Wow. I love it that you guys are aware of it. I really do, 'cause, I mean, I'm learning so much that, even I have lumped you guys into. Uh, I mean, there's hope. That's all I'm gonna say is I have a lot more hope right now than what I did to begin this with, and, I think that's good. Kay said, "I wonder if the restrictions imposed and increased education via whatever changed bullying." Do you mean, Kay, do you guys understand that? Because I don't do you mean that there's more bullying today than there was? Um, how do you feel about online bullying?
I don't think it's as big of an issue as it used to be. Like I think
I feel like middle school it was bad.
well, yeah,
Mhm.
but I think like growing up, at least my grade growing up, like that was so shoved down our throats every single day. Like, don't bully, don't. We had conventions, we had like, we watched videos all the time. Like, that was something that we learned about so much that I don't know. I never really, like, obviously there's mean people, but it wasn't as big of an issue as I feel like everyone thought that it was. And I think nowadays, like, I don't know. I think it's such a like common thing to be like, okay, well, no bullying. Like,
Right.
I don't know. I think it's normalized that like you're you're weird if you're a bully. Like that's just not normal.
Ah, nice. I like that. Hi to everybody who's come in since I've said hi to you. Please hit the like button, you guys. And those hanging out in the bushes, thank you guys for being here. Those that are watching on big screens or a different screen somewhere, thanks for listening in. We're having college night here with some very wonderful young adults that have so graciously, freely, because Blondie's cheap, y'all, giving me their time cheap. I appreciate it. Hey, Army, that good to see you. Let me ask you this. Uh, let's just talk about it. Drugs and alcohol. I'm not going to ask you what you do, what you don't do. I don't care. I care. What I'm saying is, I don't want you guys putting anything out there that would cause you any problems. But tell me how big of a problem it is in your generation. For my generation, let me just put this out to you. For my generation, now we're all from different parts of the country, blah, blah, blah. It's all kind of different. I didn't, even though I'm old, I didn't come from the Woodstock time, dancing, all that crazy flower power stuff that was going on. That's not where I come from. I'm an 80s girl through and through, right? But I was also married at 14. So for me, I didn't live a life of. I didn't even have teenage years, right? I went from being a kid to a grown ass mother, right? So I didn't deal with drugs. I didn't deal with alcohol. How prevalent is that in college life?
I think, I mean, obviously it's very prevalent. I think it's an interesting dynamic because, again, everything's online. So maybe it feels now that it's really, really big. But I think if you literally, and I'm a history nerd, Natalie's a history nerd, we all like history here. If you go back, people have been doing drugs since like the beginning of time. Opioids have always been around. Obviously,
Mhm.
maybe they're more widely available now, but I will say that us sitting here, like, I feel like we are very blessed to have been raised in communities that were not very drug focused. We were not in poverty. We weren't in any socioeconomic situation that would lead us to be more likely to be exposed to that stuff. So I can't
Mm.
speak for those demographics of people who maybe were raised in different areas than us or had different life experiences. I would say that
Wow,
we don't see a lot of
that's
hard drugs here
Mhm.
in our own range, but that
No.
doesn't mean they're not there.
I feel like that's a very wise thing to say, not group yourself in with something because demographics, life experiences, that matters, right?
Yeah.
It really does. Some people are just in survival mode from the time they're 3 years old, right? I mean, who
Mhm.
knows what people face? You can't judge the whole thing. Is it okay? Is it look is it frowned upon for those kids that don't want to partake in that at certain parties?
I think that, like, before college and growing up, like, we've always been taught, like, say no to drugs and alcohol, like, peer pressure is a real thing, but, like, when you get to college, I feel like peer pressure is not
It's not
there.
that it's not that big of a deal, like, here like, maybe it's just our school because 'cause we're not, like, a huge school, but, like, I've never been to a party where it's like, if you're not drinking, like, you are a loser, like, get
Mhm.
out. It's never been like that. Like, if people are here for school, like, if you have an 8 a.m. and you choose not to do something, like, that it's not gonna be frowned upon, like, that's okay.
No
But
one's, like, judging you or trying to, like,
at least our
shove
friend
stuff
Yeah,
group.
no
down
one's
your
shaming
throat,
you for
yeah.
Yeah,
not
but it could be
drinking or
different for other friend groups, but at least for us, it's like, I mean, if you
if you're
that's
not
it's your
drinking, like
decision.
whatever, it's okay.
So I'm glad you said that. So that doesn't mean that it isn't out there, that there
Right.
aren't different friend groups and stuff that aren't making it harder for people that don't want to drink or smoke cigarettes or do drugs or anything. Are you scared of the I'm not monetized right now, so oh god, the F crisis that's going on, the Fent. Are you scared of
Uh,
that? Are you scared to pick a trash up off the ground in the
I
road?
am. I
Mhm.
think so in high school, like I knew somebody that smoked the W. I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. And it was laced with that,
Mhm.
and um, it nothing super bad happened, but it wasn't good. I mean, so it is scary. Like you never know where where something's coming from, or and I think college kids definitely need to be aware of that. Like you don't know what
Mhm.
where people are getting stuff. Like it doesn't matter if they're like, this is I promise you it's fine. Like it doesn't matter. Like it is scary.
Do you think that it is a deep because you just don't know where it's gonna be, right? And
Yeah.
it's so deadly. Do you think it has helped in the deterrent of drugs, alcohol, things like that?
Honestly, I'm not
Yeah.
really sure. I've noticed where we live, there's a billboard literally right down the street from us that says, has a picture of a woman and it says like it kills and like a number to call, whatever. So like and I never saw that growing up. So it's probably being normalized to talk about it now. But yeah, I don't really know. I don't haven't really talked about it a whole lot, so I don't know.
Okay. I did we kinda cover that? What Kay was trying to ask was, I wonder if bullying is worse now due to social media in your opinion? I think you guys kinda covered that,
Yeah.
you guys are more aware of of the bullying, and it's just not acceptable, you just think it's uncool completely.
Yeah.
Um, okay, let me jump back right here to chat really quick. I promise you guys we're only gonna do about 15 minutes more.
Okay.
Um, I am so sorry. I didn't wanna keep you guys this long, but this is riveting to me, you guys, riveting.
No, it's fine. It's
Army
fine.
Vet says, "I think this is gonna end up being a discussion of lack of marriage in two-parent home versus raising a child in a single-parent home." Well, let's talk about that. How do you feel about marriage? Is it okay? And listen, we're not gonna judge you at all, and if you don't wanna answer it, don't answer it. But do you think it's important to have 2 parents in a household raising do you think that makes a difference in a kid's life?
It I think it probably does. I grew up both my parents, were married and never got a divorce, and but all of my friends growing up had divorced parents, and my boyfriends had divorced parents, and I mean, I always noticed they, had to pack a bag on the weekend and, like, whatever, and I'm sure that affects their mental health a lot, and is hard, but I don't think necessarily it changes the way that you were like grow up. I don't know. Like
I
I
don't
don't
know how
think
to talk
it
about
yeah, I
this.
don't know how to talk about it either, but like I don't think it matters like that unless you were raised in, a not good household or had a bad parent situation or something, but I mean, I think it's okay if you were raised like that. Like I don't think it changes that much. I don't know cuz I was raised with two parents.
We're all raised with two
Oh yeah,
I
parents.
all of
Yeah.
us. Yeah, none of our parents are divorced, so
well, I appreciate that you can't speak on someone else, like
everybody has their
a
own
step
experience.
home or a single parent home. So I appreciate that you realize it's hard to speak on that kind of stuff if you haven't
Yeah.
had that experience. Judy said, "My niece can't write her name in cursive nor tell time." Tell me about that,
I
girls.
was in a like accelerated program when I was in elementary school, and at that time, I think I was in like third or fourth grade, and my teacher walked in one day and said, "They are no longer requiring cursive. We don't have to teach it to you, but here's some papers, and you guys are gonna learn it."
Mhm.
I
But
think our grade, like, 'cause I learned it in third grade, and I think the year after it wasn't required.
yeah,
I
But
didn't
like,
learn
I
that.
had teachers who like we had to do everything in cursive. Like, we could
Mhm.
not print at all.
but
So
it's also like I don't really feel like it's that important. I mean, besides a signature, what are you gonna use
Yeah,
it
because
for?
nowadays I don't ever use cursive.
I didn't learn it growing up,
Really?
but I taught myself a little. I could do all lowercase letters, but I can't do any uppercase letters in cursive.
So what are you gonna do if you're in your 50s and you happen to find letters from your grandparents? How are you gonna read them?
Google.
Yeah, I guess. I feel like I can cursive.
Google. Oh, that's so cute. I love you for saying that. But no, it's something we're thinking about, right? I mean, it may not be important as far as like knowing how to write it, but knowing how to read it, you know,
Yeah.
maybe that's just something that should be thought upon. I don't know. Let me see if there's anything else in chat, and then um, oh, what about telling time? Can you tell time? Does your generation struggle with telling time when it comes to like a regular old-fashioned clock with 12 through 12 on it?
I hope
I
not.
don't think so. I haven't noticed anyone struggling.
Okay, well, I guarantee you now you're going to be watching people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, most school. I remember when my son came home and said no more cursive, and I was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
For the guys, I think the guys loved it because guys struggle with writing. Well, most guys really do
Guys can
struggle
go
with
with
writing,
regular.
so I understand it. For my thing, I'm kind of sad that it's going away. My mother had the most beautiful handwriting ever in the world. I'm not saying that because it was my mother. Back in her day, in her time, it was very important for girls to be able to have the most beautiful penmanship. I mean, they took class after class after class on it, and she had the most beautiful writing. And so I think it's a lost art. I think there's an art to it, but I do think it's important that if history is going to be able to be read later, even if it's personal history like your own family letters, then we still need to teach how to read it. That's
Yeah,
what I
I
think.
agree.
Um, let's go down here really quick. Army Vet says 70% of the colleges are dominated by women. There's not a drug or alcohol issue on campus. My daughter goes to college part time. Well, that's nice. That's nice. The drugs we have to worry about our kids and grandkids doing these days are much more powerful and worse. Yes, it's so scary. It's so scary. Listen, every time I hear of a college student that comes up missing um, due to drugs or alcohol, it's just heartbreaking. I mean, like I said, I didn't go to college, but I know, kids in the 80s and stuff that did go to college and stuff. All they had to worry about was getting too drunk at parties and passing out in the bathroom because their friends were like, "We're done cleaning up your throw up," like
Yeah.
lay there, you'll wake up. And now it's not. I mean, it's so scary, right? It really is. 70% of American population raising children alone. Only 30 of the population is married. Yeah, that's because it's why. Let me ask y'all this: why do you think that the divorce rate is so high?
Um, honestly, I feel like growing up, a lot of my friends' parents, it was infidelity. I mean, I that's what I always heard growing up. Like pe- people cheat, and that's just how I. That's like why people got divorced was, what I was told when I was younger. But it could be anything. I mean, people, especially with social media nowadays, our generation sees it a lot. Like it's just easy to cheat. Yeah.
Like dating apps are really prevalent. It's so easy to
Yeah,
just
I know a
download.
lot of people
Or
that
like just make a separate account or
yeah.
do everything through DMs and then you can just delete it later and
But
Mm,
I guess
well,
there it could be
that
anything. Mhm.
that's okay. That brings us right into my favorite topic. Let's talk about boys. Let's let's talk about it. Um, I'm gonna try to be really, really sensitive with this because I don't want to get too deep and I don't want to get in your personal lives that much. But I would absolutely love to have a sleepover with you girls. Um, but are you dating? Okay, is dating? You guys have this weird language. You say we're talking. What the hell does we're talking mean?
No one knows. We don't even know.
Mallory's the only single
Mallory-
one.
Really?
Yeah, Mallory's the only single friend in our friend group right now. So why don't you explain that?
I don't even know. Like,
Talking is like you're not dating, you're not
official.
exclusive, but like you're
Interested.
hoping for
Yeah.
to be exclusive.
You might
What
go.
do you if I go ahead, I'm sorry.
Sorry, you might go on dates, but you're not dating.
Okay. What do you think about the term courting?
Courting? That's like
That's like very religious.
Yeah.
I think of
Okay.
Yeah, I think
19 kids
The
is counting.
Duggars. Okay. That's that's acceptable. How I think see I heard the word courting I think was used more in the 50. I remember my mom using it and she was born in the 40s. And they didn't talk about dating. They would talk about courting, right? You know they were doing the deed too. They were just liars. But for them courting meant that they were actually um they they were they were dating somebody, and then I think the Duggars normalized it as courting means that we're not in a we're looking for the right person, but we're not doing the deed or,
Right.
getting too involved. We're just letting our heads and our heart do the talking kind of thing instead of
Yeah.
our hands.
Yeah.
Um, what would you if you let me talk to Mallory. Mallory, step forward.
right here.
You're the single one here. Mallory, what
Yes.
if a guy came to you and said, I'm not really into the dating thing or talking, like I'm into courting. Like I don't want to have sex before marriage. What do you
What
say
would
to
you
that?
say?
How do you feel about it?
Uh,
You don't
I
have to
mean,
answer. If you don't want to answer it, you don't have to. You could say, I mean, if is it something you would still give a chance to see if there's any kind of connection there? Or would you
I
say,
mean,
no way, dude?
not like,
It's not like a value.
yeah, that's not like something that would just like make me automatically be like, okay, then no. But I mean, that's not personally my belief, but I don't know. That's never happened to me, so I don't know how to go about that.
So I have a daughter who's very much in the church. She's um but even she will tell younger people, I really think that a couple should live together before marriage.
Mhm.
How do you feel about that?
I agree.
Yep.
I think you should live with someone and know how they live before you decide that you want to be with them for the rest of your life, because you could date and spend the night with each other every once in a while, but like until you share a room and a kitchen and a bathroom with them and like how they live, how they clean up after themselves, like how they were raised to run a
Yeah.
household, like how they have handle their finances, like you have to know all that stuff before you're like, okay, like I'm gonna be with them for the rest of my life.
Okay. Mallory, what makes a beautiful girl your age single? What are you
Um,
looking for? Is that by choice? Is it by design?
yes. Yeah. I would just say that like with me personally, I just feel like love nowadays is just like so it's like hookup culture, and not that that's a bad thing, but like I don't know. I feel like at least all of the guys at my school, like they don't have the same mindsets as me on that stuff, and I don't know.
A lot of guys just they're looking for one thing, like,
Yeah.
but
Mhm.
not all of them. I mean,
Would you say you're just like not in a rush?
Yeah. I mean, personally with me, I'm not gonna find my husband in wherever we're at right now. Like, that's not the
it's not a
case.
priority, and like this is the time to experiment. Like
Mhm.
I say with a boyfriend, but like for you, like this, you're in college. Like
Dude,
this is the
yeah, have
time to like
fun.
have fun.
College is to find your bridesmaids and not your groom.
Amen. I
Yeah.
saw a TikTok.
There's the real MVP comment right there. There it is. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. I love that so much. I've never heard that, and I love it. So,
Like, I don't
are
agree,
you
but like
more
that's the mindset.
Yeah, I agree.
are you more interested in so you're just more interested in having fun and dating and just being by yourself, but not being held um
Yeah.
into a relationship with just one person.
I mean, I think personally, like, I'm just right now trying to live the college life, and like, I see some of, obviously not these girls, but I see like some of my friends, like, just have to always be like thinking about like struggles in their relationships and always have to like worry about a guy or something.
Like,
And,
would my boyfriend approve of like this? I see that a lot.
or
Like,
like, one of
Mm.
my roommates, like, recently just went through a breakup, and I'm like, I could see how badly it affected her, and I'm just like, I'm not trying to, like, stress about stuff like that right now. Like, this is college. I know that my husband is not here at this school. Like, I don't know. I'm worried. I'm thinking about everything but getting into a relationship right now.
Wow, that's so it is completely by design.
Yeah.
It's choice.
I mean,
Wow, that's
I was in a very short relationship recently, and personally, I've just never been a relationship girl, and I don't know. I think I just like the individual lifestyle right now.
is it in the cards for you?
What do you mean?
like if
Like,
a
Are
guy
you
like
do
was interested in
yeah,
you,
do you think that there is one guy out there for you and you just haven't met him yet and you're not ready to meet him yet, but you can see that in your future? Or are you just one of these girls who's just like, "L I'm probably just gonna be happy to be alone and to flirt and to, if I find someone who's cute, like, go out with him a couple of times, but nothing serious."
I mean, I still have a long life to live. I would just say that, like, right now, that's the least of my concern. Anything could happen in the future. It's just like I'm giving guys a chance right now, and it's just not working out, and that's completely fine by me. But I don't know. Anything
Wow,
in the future could happen.
wow. I love that. So all 3 of the rest of you guys are in college. Did you all meet your significant others while in college?
Not Natalie.
Yeah, I met my boyfriend in high school.
Wow, really? How's that going for you?
It's good. He goes to Ball State too, or school too.
Okay.
So,
Is he in Greek life?
yep.
So are all of you dating someone in Greek life?
yes,
Yep, the same one.
and they're all in the same.
In the same
Yeah,
in the same fraternity.
my
Gotcha.
actually Natalie's boyfriend's
Big.
big, which is like their
Mentor.
Yeah,
Wow, wow. So you guys are connected in many, many different ways.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, um, I'm trying to be sensitive here. I'm trying to see how far I can take this.
You don't have to be
Yeah.
sensitive. It's okay.
It's open book.
Sex before marriage. Obviously, we're not worried about that.
No.
No.
Do your parents know, and are they watching?
I hope not.
The day I turned 16, my mom put me on birth control, even though I never had a boyfriend and never even had an interest in any boy at that point. And I kept telling her I don't need it, but she didn't care. She's a nurse, and she would just rather, she has 2 daughters, than just be safe than be sorry. So, yeah, I don't
Mm,
think she ever really
okay.
mind.
And the rest of you, how do your parents feel about it?
I would say, well, my mom, I am like an open book to her. She knows everything. Obviously, I like didn't just straight up tell her, but there was stuff going on. I had a UTI, blah, 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 and I needed to get medicine, and she found out that way. But now it's just like we always joke about that stuff as long as I'm being safe, like I'm in college.
For
Mm.
me growing up, that wasn't something that we talked about.
Same.
Like
I was the same way. I couldn't talk
I've
about it.
never talked to my parents about that. Even like I mean, since as I've gotten older, like especially in college, she's been like, "All right, like do you want to go on birth control, whatever." And I've just always been independent enough to like I don't need my mom to like help me. I don't know. We just never really talked about it
Mhm.
growing up.
And I was the same way. I was
Gotcha.
just I'd rather be independent and figure things out on myself than tell my mom about it.
Yeah.
But then it just kind of like she just asked me about it. Like me and my boyfriend have been dating for like over a year, and she kind of just like, "Is anything happening?" And I was just like, I just had to be honest. Can like really tell her, like finally open up to her.
How important is protection?
Very.
Very.
Oh, I love that. I love, love, love that. Love that. I'm not going to
It's
ask any
just
more into
crazy
that.
because at our school that's like also shoved down your throat. Like
Yes.
Yeah.
they have, free protection at every health center on campus. Like you can find it anywhere. Like that
They
is
give it out.
they give it out. Like it is so normalized and talked about now that like it is
Oh, I
important.
love that. I love that. How do guys feel about it?
I don't think they
Um,
mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if anything, they're probably even more wanting to use protection because that's the last thing they want.
And I think now we're at the
Wow,
age where
that's
we're becoming mothers, and like
Yeah.
people are posting on Instagram another baby announcement. And you're like, what in the world? Like that? How are they gonna be a mother? And I think seeing that is like, okay, okay, we can't.
Yeah.
We have to use protection.
I love that. Well, girls, I think I'm going to end this here. We've been on for about 2 hours together and I don't want to I feel like I've already overstayed my welcome,
Oh my
but
gosh.
I would love to do this again. I would love to discuss more with you guys. Um maybe get some I can do a community post in a couple of weeks or something, maybe closer to summer, whatever, and get some more questions to ask and have you guys feel free to come over here and talk with us. I think this has been very enlightening and I have loved every second of it so much.
So have we.
Very
This is
Yeah.
fun. We'd love to do it again.
I would love that. I'd love to have a guy's opinion. So you guys
We
work on
can
the boyfriends,
yeah, we'll
Yeah.
get the
bring them in.
boyfriends. Yeah, and let me talk to the guys. I'd really like their take on things too.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
girls, thank you so much. Big hugs to every one of you. If you need me, you know how to get in touch with me. And thank you for coming and gosh, thank you for your honesty. I'm really proud of all of you. I have to say, I have to really say this that
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you.
that you guys have just fueled the fire to my hope. We're going to be okay, guys. We're going to be okay. If half of your generation believes the way you believe and thinks about the world the way that you guys have, told us that you think about it in just this short amount of time, we're going to be okay. And thank you for that.
Thank you for having
Thank you.
us.
It was awesome.
All right, girls, big hugs to you. Thank you so much for coming up. Get in touch with me. Okay, let's do it
For
again.
sure. We'll be back soon.
Thank you. Bye, guys. Wow. There you go. We now have hope. Woo, Lisa, we're not lost, girl. They're going to take care of us. You guys, they're going to take care of us. We're okay. I mean, we may not have any social security, but they're going to take care of us. They're going to set it all straight for us. For me, I think about stuff like that, I really do. I think about um, what is the world going to be like when they're making the rules, right? And when they're upholding the laws and sitting in office because they are our future. They're our future. And I am grateful. I am so thankful to those that even are sitting in the bushes. I hope that everybody has taken something away positive from this, to realize that they're a lot smarter than we given them credit. Oh God, I hate when I get choked up, but they're a lot smarter guys than we give them credit for. And if one thing is for sure, we can't lump that whole generation into a box. We can't. There are many of them out there that are working jobs, they're going to school, that are just living life and trying to figure it out. And um, they they find value in what we've done for them, and they also see things that they feel like needs to be changed, and they're willing to change it. So there we have it. There we have it. I want to thank everybody for coming in here. I pray that you will hit the like on your way out. Leave your DNA all over here. We appreciate it so much at According to Leanie. Um, got some live scheduled. I'm not sure, can't remember. I've slept since then, since I've set them up. One's tomorrow. I don't remember what time. And then Friday, I know for sure. I think that one is during the daytime. I hope to see you guys there. If you haven't subscribed, you guys please subscribe. Those that are watching on the big screens or on a different screen altogether, if you will just run on over here, sign into your account and subscribe, I would appreciate it so much. And hit the like for me. I appreciate it so much. Those that will watch the replay, I thank you so much for that. Those that constantly are supporting this channel in what we're trying to do, I thank you for that too. Um, y'all have a good night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Big hug to the mods, big hugs to the rest of y'all. Thanks, guys. Good night.